There are places in this world where darkness lingers, where the veil between our world and the next becomes thin, where the echoes of past tragedies reverberate through the years. These are the places that draw us in, that whisper stories of horror and mystery. Some people spend their lives trying to escape these shadows. They seek the comfort of bright lights and familiar surroundings. But there are others, like Clara Mendes and me, who are drawn to the darkness. We crave the answers that are hidden in the shadows. We seek out these haunted places, these repositories of fear and sorrow. We do it for the thrill of the unknown, for the adrenaline rush of confronting the things that lurk in the night. But we also do it for them, the lost souls trapped in these haunted spaces. We are their voices, their only hope for peace. Clara Mendes was a journalist with a thirst for truth, no matter how dark or disturbing. When she heard the stories about the Grand Blackwood Hotel, she knew she had to experience them for herself. The locals whispered about the hotel, a once elegant old lady now in ruins. They spoke of cold spots, disembodied voices, and a room on the third floor, room 313, that remained permanently locked. It was said that those who dared to stay in room 313 never survived the night. Clara, intrigued and skeptical, booked a 3-night stay in the infamous room. She wanted to experience the phenomena firsthand, to document the truth behind the legends. Armed with her notebook, camera, and a healthy dose of skepticism, she crossed the threshold of the Grand Blackwood and stepped into the heart of the mystery. The first night passed without incident. An eerie silence hung in the air, but nothing overtly paranormal occurred. Clara began to think that the stories were nothing more than local folklore, tales exaggerated to scare tourists. But on the second night, everything changed. As soon as the clock struck midnight, the temperature in the room plummeted. A cold, invisible presence seemed to emanate from the walls themselves, enveloping Clara like a shroud. Then, precisely at 3:13 a.m., she heard it. 3 distinct, heavy knocks on the door. Her heart pounded in her chest as she cautiously approached the door, but when she opened it, the hallway was empty. Section 4. The Mystery of Laura Martins. Shaken but not deterred, Clara decided to investigate the history of room 313 further. She uncovered the story of Laura Martins, a young woman who had vanished from that very room decades earlier. Laura was staying at the hotel, alone and troubled. On the last night of her stay, also at 3:13 a.m., the staff heard a blood-curdling scream coming from room 313. When they finally managed to break down the door, Laura was gone, vanished without a trace. The only thing left behind was her diary, filled with frantic scribbles about a shadowy figure and an overwhelming sense of dread. Clara felt a chill down her spine as she read Laura's words, sensing a chilling connection between their experiences. Section 5. Vanished. Determined to capture evidence of the supernatural activity, Clara set up cameras around room 313. She wanted to document whatever evil lurked within those walls, to expose the truth about Laura's disappearance. Despite her growing fear, she felt an unshakable sense of purpose. As the clock approached 3:13 a.m., a palpable tension filled the air. The temperature dropped again, and the shadows in the room seemed to writhe and twist. Then, just like before, 3 knocks echoed through the room. This time, Clara glimpsed a shadowy figure passing by the door, captured on the camera footage. Section 6. The Final Frame. The next morning, when Clara didn't check out, the hotel staff became worried. They went up to room 313, but the door was locked from the inside. After several attempts, they finally managed to break down the door, but the room was empty. Clara Mendes had vanished, just like Laura Martins before her. The cameras were still recording, and the footage from that night showed something truly terrifying. In the final frames, a figure could be seen entering the room, its features obscured by darkness. It approached the camera, and for a fleeting moment, the entity seemed to look directly into the lens. Its eyes glowed with an unnatural light, cold and malevolent. Then, the footage cut out. Section 7. Would you dare? The Grand Blackwood Hotel still stands, a monument to the mysteries it holds. Room 313 remains sealed, untouched since Clara's disappearance. Some believe she was the victim of a crime, but others know the truth. They know that something sinister lurks within those walls, something that preys on the vulnerable and claims them for its own. Now I leave you with this question. Would you dare to spend a night in room 313? Would you be brave enough to face the darkness that consumed Clara Mendes, to confront the entity with the glowing eyes? The answer, my friends, lies within you.